All right, welcome back to the 80 Star Basketball Channel, the only star basketball channel bringing you information about the uncut sheets on Shop at Home that I was not aware of. Some really interesting, as I did my Shop at Home video a few weeks back. I kind of received some follow up from a couple of viewers, and thanks both to him. But what was kind of funny, both were mics. I had to verify that each were different, and I actually got pictures from each source to kind of compare them to make sure that what I was looking at was legit. And then someone in the Facebook group posted their collection, which showed it. So these are completely shop at home legit cards. So I did want to show them. I'm also going to talk today about auctions. Star Jordans are, especially the 101, 195, 288s. Those are on fire right now. But also all the Hall of Famers. Kind of anything star related is really going is really hot, and I don't see it's kind of like just getting warmer and warmer, and it's things are now getting right back to the prices where they were before on some. Most every grade, like a 101, I track them all, and fives and fours, and everything is really trickling up, but the really high grades are too. What's weird is the ones that were the most common for a little while, PSA sixes, have kind of they aren't. They're only one auction right now, and another one closed for less than or almost the same price at a PSA five, but it was an odd eBay sale. So I'll have to look at that. I'll show you what I was talking about. But so I'm going to cover the auctions, but I do want to talk about these first. Again, so after the shop at home follow up, I had a couple people reach out again, both named Mike. Again, thanks a lot, Mike's, for sending these in the pictures. And I'm going to read you an entire backstory, the only information, because I've asked for more information. And it's funny, the two people who actually have the sheets don't really know anything about them. But the one person who has the very grainy, I'll show you the picture. They have from right, I believe it's right here. Where is it? I gotta go searching. These old the old grainy photos from taken so long ago, um, and these are the photos that basically he had from there, and that was it. They weren't his. So, I'll kind of give you that story, but to show them what they kind of look like in their full glory. Here's Brian's collection, fantastic. He has the full kind of everything. You get to take a peek at it all. But these uncut sheets, if you know, I love uncut sheets. And it looks like uncut sheets got hot too because the 83s all just sold. I've been kind of wondering why no one's been buying those up. Again, I don't buy things to make money off them. I'm a collector. I buy what I want when I want. And if I think something's going to get hotter, I will sell some of my stuff to get into the hotter thing so it doesn't go up in price more than, faster. In certain things, Jordans tend to go up quicker. And things like, things that aren't, kind of like some of the things that may have people kind of steer clear of, those have now gotten hotter, but I can give those up at the time if I can get them again and kind of work like that. But anyway, coming back to this story, there's two sheets, and I guess probably the easiest one to look at from the front is maybe Brian's picture right here, and you can see they're small sheets. These weren't, and these are odd for most uncut sheets. You see the full size, and they have rows of like 10 across kind of thing, 10 up. They can be different sizes, but there's a standardized set generally for a full size sheet, and it'll see the cut lines. Well, here you can see the cut lines are here, and they're kind of oddly placed for thick borders, which is different for star. So there's just uniqueness about all of them to it. And the other thing that's very unique about them, and that you can see right here, is they were matted. So they're actually a little different style than the normal star cards, and star cards aren't matted; they're glossy and nice and just kind of. But this looks a little different right here, and that was what the owner did note. It said it was kind of odd, but I thought that was weird. I wonder if that's the same on the white. I'm not sure, but uncut sheets I just think are the coolest displays, and it's really interesting to see that these were made and distributed, and that's what was. So I'm going to give you the story verbatim right now from Mike, and as he said. So I'm basically going to read exactly the email that was written. He said, back in 1996 in Hawaii, the store was called Kingdom Collectibles. The owner was the second largest buyer of upper deck items aside from QVC at the time. He had tons of stuff. I used to go in his store a couple times a week to talk about cards, and it was sometime during the summer of '96 that he mentioned he was putting together a deal with Robert Levin to buy some Star product. He bought a bunch of different promo, quote unquote, or prototype cards that were limited to 1,000 made, the color variation in 5 card sets. And he told me about the Uncut Sheets. He didn't get involved with the Gatorade or the Crunch and Munch reprints that went to Shop at Home. Levin sent him a few black sheets and a few white so he could see them. They agreed on whatever final price at the time, and there were supposed to be 400 of each. I happened to be there at the store the day the remaining sheets arrived, and they were the thick black marker lines across them. So he marked them out. I couldn't believe it. The owner ended up having to sue Levin because I believe by that time in '97, I moved back to the East Coast, so I don't know any details about it. But my understanding was that a couple of sheets were cut for singles, 5 of each color were sold to Field of Dreams, and a couple others were sold to local collectors since all the others were ruined. So that is quite the story there. Can you imagine seeing all black marker through this? You just die a little inside. But wanting to show these off, that's a little bit of a closer up pick. Obviously, the quality is kind of not there, but that's what the back looks like. For the sheets, you can see the cut line, which is weird. The cut lines are right on the edge of the black, so they would have very, very thick borders. Again, different than the normal star cards. So look at the size of that, what that border would end up being like. So, but I don't think that they were cut that way. I think they were kind of cut to centered. If I remember looking at one of the bags, they weren't cut that thick on the sides. So just kind of interesting, but that's where the cut lines are. So it's a little bit odd. So obviously you can't see these, but those are the grainy photos from before. So, but I did want to share that follow up and kind of give some. I've never seen these, but that's information. So if you hear or see anything in the wild about these, they do exist. They are real, and they're obviously insanely rare. But very, very cool. Again, I just right up my alley. A 101, a rare card with a weird backstory, and an uncut sheet. It's just kind of like my dream collectible piece right there. So I'm going to switch over. We to auctions this week. We didn't get a ton. We didn't put out an auction vid this week, but things are going ballistic with 101s and prices. Just kind of surprising, but it's not. I mean, I feel that the 101 is the most undervalued card in the hobby. I believe it still is. And that's why I continue to get them. And Jordan Anything is on fire. The kind of bigger things. Any '90s inserts, all that. But the star, as they fell down, they kind of lagged, and then now they're picking up. And since the national, when that was kind of what I was seeing such a buzz about, and especially it being on the cover of the SCD cover, the Sports Collector Digest. That just things like that, the perception change and everything in the hobby, it's really changing. So it's so cool to see. But I do want to talk about, look at this BGS 6, a BGS 6 that's already at 20,150 with a day and a half left. It's Probstein, but still, that's a for a BGS 6, and it's nice. It's got good eye appeal to it. So my guess is, upon closer inspection, it's got something, but that's what's happening right now. And the other one, like this PSA 6, is at 29K. I'm assuming, actually, I have no idea where this is going to end up. If I think that compared to everything, it's going to get close to 40 is my thought. And I will share something here that I can't find on the eBay listings. I can't find it on any of the sold or closed. Is that there was a sale, the last one that shows up for a PSA. Let me see if I can find it. And I wasn't the last PSA 7 sale looked like it was 49,000 right here. This one shows 43. There was another one that closed for 49. Um, and I'm not finding it. There is this BGS 8.5 that sold for 49. There was another one, and I thought it was right in here, but that's too far back. Yeah, I would have to go and find it again. But I did see it. Maybe it's on these listings. Show yourself. It's not showing itself, but a PSA 7 sold for 49. I do see there was someone who sent me. They sold. Oh, I think it's right here. Best offer down to 49. That's why I didn't see it. I do believe that this one actually sold, or there was another one that I did see a confirmed for sale for 65,000 on a PSA 7. I'm going to have to confirm it later, but I did see that the person showed me that the payment went through, so I don't know why it isn't showing up on sales, and it should. So a PSA 7, but the source is as reliable as it gets, and I will hopefully we can see some of that. I'm not seeing some of the sales that I've known about, which is odd, kind of in 130 point and card ladder or otherwise. So, but it's definitely going to be there soon. I would think it's got to show up if it's a legit sale. So these are all bumping up. Fives and fours have been tearing it up for the. Let's go look at them even. So let's look at a PSA. Five and a halves and six and a halves. I haven't seen the last one, but sales like this for 27K on August 9th, 27 and a half for fives. So I would expect that, and fours are selling hot, and coming back to Golden's auction. This right here, a PSA 8 is 220 right now. So again, just seeing the heat, and then over here, even 195s are catching some of the hotter. They too are selling for the record sales. It doesn't list that record sale on here. I did notice that, and I got to see what that finally finished out at. I believe the last I saw was. Actually, I don't want to quote any price because I want to see the ending price, and I don't see it. But PSA 7's going for 15, and I believe there was another one close to that. But PSA 6's, everything's taking a price bump, and including the Hall of Famers like PSA 9's, high level cards right now, they're all selling. So I did want to share that along with the shop at home. And just show, right now it's just good to see a lot of interest in so many different types of cards too. 83 sets, everything's I'm just noticing that there's just a kind of a swell of new buyers and it's funny to me, like I'm kind of thinking the old people, some of the older collectors, and they see like the prices getting what they want and they're like compelled to sell. But I'm like, if you love the cards, don't, because they're going to keep increasing. More buyers isn't a bad thing. It's not like all of a sudden these are going to go up and vanish. So if you love the cards, but obviously do what you're going to do. But, if it's just a financial thing, then, feel free. But in terms of getting your cards back, I don't know if that, prices are going to, it looks like the wave is going to be continuing one way as of right now. So, enjoy your cards, and I'm glad I could show these the black uncut sheets. I just think that they're super, super cool, and I will see you all at the next video. Oh, and something I never say: subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. I need to start doing that at the beginning channel, but I will see you at the next video.